Hey, what's up? Dev Puppy here. It's been a while since the last video, about a week or so. I try and do more than one a week, but this is for really good reasons. So Tuesday last week, I attended a meetup for the Vancouver VR community, and it was really successful. I met a few people that I'm going to stay in contact with, including I had an offer to go to a weekly indie game developer kind of meetup thing, and that's to probably it's to help me out with my programming, and maybe I can contribute a little bit. I'm not sure. So this is at least the presentation portion of that event. Um, this was maybe an hour, and then there was demos, and I actually had the basketball game running in a demo, which I did not take any videos or pictures of for some dumb reason. I really should have. But anyway, I met some people involved with Snow Fortress, which is a VR game. I'll just play a little clip from the trailer.
A snowball. Build your fort with the blocks around you.
Yeah, that game looks really fun. And I met Adam Thompson, who developed this game all by himself, which is just wild to me. And I actually bought the game, and it is really fun. It's just simple and but also kind of elegant in the gameplay. Here's a little trailer.
Yes, Commander?
Yes, sir.
So that's that game. And so the catapults are really tough to aim, at least for me right now, because I'm not used to it. And then Thursday, I went to apply for the self-employment program for my province in BC, and the big thing here is, I'll highlight it. The program offers business management training and counseling for new entrepreneurs and provides financial support for up to 48 weeks. So that would be a massive boon for the success of my business. They actually mentioned during the orientation that businesses that go through this program have a higher odds of being around within a year. So it will just boost my chances. It will give me kind of a universal basic income for almost a year. So I can operate the company in the black or even in the red a little bit for up to a year. So I am on to the next stage, and I'm doing my application, but I'll keep you up to date as for that. So there were a number of, during this meetup in the Vancouver VR community, some people tested my little game, and I realized there was two glaring bugs that I hadn't run into just because of the way I play it, but other people were causing some bugs, and I'll show you what those look like. Okay, so I'm back in VR now, and when I was demoing this, it's not really a game, of course, it's just the mechanics of a game. When I was allowing others to play this at the Vancouver VR Community meeting, people were playing the game very differently than I was. So my style is to shoot and then wait, see what happens, right? Other people, what they would do is they would shoot and then go right back and hover over the ball. So what was happening, so I'll see if I can recreate it. Oh, geez. Just hover, keep my left hand hovered. Okay, you see how my left hand it's just stuck now? By the way, the hands are messing up because I have my back towards my sensors. I haven't figured that out yet. So now that left hand is frozen. So that's what I encountered. So I'm just going to restart the scene here. Okay, so another thing, I actually kind of knew this going into the demo, but I thought that I would just be presenting to everybody, but actually probably about 5 people got to try it. Not lots of people. So what was happening is when I shoot this ball, once it goes off, it's parented to this game object. I think it's called, um, I don't know, finish balls or something like that. So that one's part of the game object finished balls. So is that one. And when when I decide that I've failed to hit this net, that's when there are 8 balls in that game object. So here we go. So this is number 8. Once it leaves my hand, the coroutine starts. So there we go. So it failed out, so I get another easy net here. However, that it was only adding to that game object after I threw it. So that one is part of that, you know, finish balls game object, but these two are not, because they weren't actually thrown, they just fell off of this thing. So what you'll notice now is if I knock that one off, fail, and fail this, nothing. So lots of people were trying this and knocking a few balls off, and then I had to restart the game for them. So, that was no good. So I'll switch over to another project and I'll show you how I fixed it. Okay, so I'm in an updated version of the same scene. So I have the VRTK console window in the scene. That just helps me troubleshoot, little things going wrong, because I write almost everything to the console right now because I don't know how to properly debug. And, I print a ton of stuff to the console for troubleshooting. So I've also developed a new hopper. This is what I've always wanted to look like, so I went ahead with it. And what you'll see is you can't actually select any of the balls or grab onto any of the balls in this tube. You can only actually grab onto the bottom one. So I like how that works. And this other issue with the ball not disappearing if you have another one in your hand. Yeah, so you'll see the hand reset there. So that's working pretty nicely. So normally to judge whether a basket has failed or not, I was adding all of these balls to a game object called thrown or failed balls. So that doesn't really work because the last ball, once it leaves your hand, the last ball, even if it's successful getting a basket, it's actually parented to that thrown or lost balls game object. So it's a fail. So that's really not working. So I haven't worked it out, but I have a couple triggers in here meant to identify whether I'm at the last ball or not. You can see, just keep your eye on the console here. Okay, so last ball shows up. Should be the last ball, and it is in fact the last ball. So I need to work out a way to determine that, that this ball has failed once it's left my hand. And I think the way to do that is for it to have reached so first of all, it's on the ground, but it's also stopped bouncing. So that's another way to make it fail. Because right now, it reset because it was the 8th child to the thrown or lost balls game object, and that just doesn't work. So that's kind of the next thing I have to work on, and it's really important. I mean, if you score baskets and it's not the last ball, the game works fine. However, with that last ball, that's when it's screwing up. So I'll just do it here, last ball, make sure I get it in. Okay, you can see it went from medium to hard. So it's firing twice. The change difficulty is firing twice. So I really need to figure out how to fix this. But for now, I'll show you what the hopper looks like in Maya. So as you can see, I'm in Maya now, and this is the hopper that I've developed for my game. Now it looks very simple, and it certainly is, but I'm proud of it because, you know, I did it myself. I didn't look at any videos actually when I did this. I bent these myself. I created the holes in the pipe myself. So I'll just quickly show you how I made the holes. Now anybody familiar with Maya will be like, you know, so what? And actually, no, it's not a cylinder, it's one of these guys. Okay. Let's adjust the height so it's a bit taller. And thickness, let's bring that down. So you can see we've got a pipe here. And what I did to make kind of these strips show, because I wanted the balls for the player to be able to look in the hopper thingy and see how many balls they had left. So all I did is I removed the faces. So all I did is right click, go to face. You can actually select faces. Do the top here. There we go. And the bottom. So now we have a slot in there. And so that's how I did that. So I think that's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed.